Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the big island of Hawaii, and my co-host Tina Bird. I'll let her say hello. Greetings, Tina.
Hello, Tommy. Hello, everybody in Hawaii, the UK, and the rest of the world that's watching. Thank you for tuning in to our show this week. I do apologise for being absent last week because I had COVID-19 and Tommy went on without me. And again, I do apologise for not being here last week, but it's good to see Tommy in good health. Tommy.
So, people, I don't know if you read the title. I want people that are out there that are abductees. Okay, the word abductees to text me, write me, email me. I want to get a couple names together, people that are willing to talk about it. Realize, people, you're not going to go to jail. You're not going to go to the nut house now anymore. You might be laughed at if the max, but the experiences are all over the place, and they're doing all the conferences. I'm planning on doing a conference in Hawaii in the near future. I have a few people I would bring, not many, but I want to bring people that are abductees, not experiences. I don't need stories on my show. I don't need fairy tales coming out. I want to deal with what happens, the facts, the actual things that go down, what's happening to the planet that nobody's talking about. I mean, the good aliens aren't here yet. They're not coming here, and they're not going to be helping us anytime soon. That they've been feeding everybody are not helping us as people. Now, the government's not going to come out and say a thing about it. They can't. And when they say disclosure, it's not going to be disclosure that we want. Tina will admit it. She'll explain that. Disclosure would mean telling the truth. You think the government's going to come out and tell what they did with aliens, what they have been doing, what's going to happen in the war zone, what's really going on right now? Even Putin came out and said his truth. People, nobody wants to hear it. I've been talking about what Putin said months after he said it. Not one person gave a hoot or even tried to pull it up or tried to find what Putin said about aliens. When he met Trump, I'm sure he said something to him. I don't know what he actually said. I wasn't there. But again, he created this space army the day after he met Putin. Yeah. Now, I'm a rebel. I don't like to follow any lies. I don't like storytellers. I don't like false history, which 90% of our history is not real. It's twisted. Now, the story of the Anunnaki, the story of this and that, you can believe them if you want to. If that's where you want to put your attention, okay. I'd rather believe in what's going to happen to us as a person, as a soul, when we die, that there's a better place to go, not back to an alien place, or have aliens come and help us or do anything stupid. We have been moving backwards. Technology doesn't mean we're moving forward, and people don't understand that. I'll let you say something, Tina, because I don't want to just hog the time up. But Tina, tell us what's going on in your world right now.
Well, a few things I just want to the local things we're touching on recently. I've just had the news on about the Ukraine, totally different to about UFOs, but they're talking this evening about whether Russia is going to launch a counter attack. Now they've withdrawn because the weather's changing and the ground's become wet, which is why it can't hold the weight of the tanks. So they've withdrawn, and they said that what would our reaction be to, they're talking about tonight on Sky News, what would our reaction be and reaction time if Russia was to launch nuclear weapons. So they were just talking about that, not saying that they would do that, and they're saying it was 55 minutes, etc. And they're talking about submarines. But they also said about if they attack Germany on the 9th of May. So they've been talking about that a bit. The other thing is Japan recently, I want to say the last week or two, has come to light saying that they've had footage of UFOs from a helicopter. A military helicopter had, I think, between, I want to say, 5 and 7 minutes, maybe 9 minutes of footage from 2 years ago when a military helicopter went out and recorded an image and a film of this huge elongated UFO, which it tracked for a few miles before it disappeared. Between them, China and other militaries have been unable to identify this thing. So it's not a modern aircraft. And they've recently come out, like Tommy has said, and said that, yes, UFOs are real. They have been tracking them. and they're going to start their own space defense against this. So that was been recent news. And apparently, not far from where these UFOs have been spotted over the last 2 years, they've had earthquakes. I've always said that UFOs are related to earthquakes. Wherever you see earthquakes, you would have seen UFOs. I'm just trying to see if I can find. No, the only other thing is the 40th anniversary of the Falklands War, which my father went to. But so these things. And this footage has been about a while, but they've only, unlike Japan, releases very few things. I know China releases a few things, so it's great to see them hitting the internet and releasing the actual footage and photographs, which was a huge thing. So kudos for that. I'm just going to read some comments in the chat room quickly. Yes, that's right. Yeah, they chased. I'm not sure if that's old footage or within the last 2 years. 2 UFOs, or that either came out of the water or was tracked by an American warship. Was shadowed 2 car-sized balls of light, which were not drones. That's right. And the US recorded that off. Was it the I'm not sure what year I said what warship it was. So they also have that as well. So there's been lots of footage resurfacing recently from the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not talking like 10, 20 years ago, from recent footage. So you've got helicopters, fighters filming them, helicopters, satellites filming them. Now you have warships filming and tracing them. So there's lots of things going on and being reported. Again, interagency cooperation is needed and is going on, whether that involves Britain or there you go. Is it Kearsage?
I'm not sure.
Am I saying that right? The USS Kearsage? Yeah, they actually reported the encounter, and before they wouldn't report these encounters if they had films, but they're actually openly reporting it. The captains of the ship and the pilots or whoever's tracking them openly making a report on the ship now, and the captain in the Navy is filing a Navy report on the UFO. So they're following the chain of command now, and they're being released by the Department of Defense as per request of the new agency they set up. Was it last year, Tommy?
Yeah.
So that's good, but now more countries are coming forward. They're admitting UFOs are real. Well, we all know that. The next step is, what is their purpose? And how do we defend against them? Tommy, any questions?
Well, here's the thing, people. I actually saw 2 ships get blown out of the sky 2 years ago here in Hawaii. All right. I was close to many ships as well and things like that. But what are they here for? Is there anything positive? Now, when they talk about what the government's doing with ships, they had 3 major wars in space. They had 2 major wars on this planet. You don't hear the UFO people talking about that at all because they have no clue. They're not giving inside information. I was lucky enough to get it, people. The people that I worked with all had top information. Most of them were killed. But in the interim, the truth is out there. And nobody wants to face it. The UFO world wants to live in La La Land. Now, thinking good aliens are going to do anything beneficial to us or help us in any way, please think about the past 40,000 years. What did they do for us? All right. What did they do for Atlantis? What did they do at any point in time in history?
Sorry, John, I'm just going to interrupt. I've managed to get the footage of the Japanese Air Force in the helicopter. And a fighter. They show you the distance, the timing, and the height. It's on Ancient Aliens from the 2nd of March. And this is the footage, guys. So there it is there.
We see the helicopter. See a guy talking.
There's an ad coming up. Let me just fast forward over the ad. Sorry. Do apologise, guys. Oh, these bleeding ads. It shows the actual. It showed the footage of the UFO and the UFO itself, and the pictures they released, individual pictures of it. which has been studied for 2 years. So if you watch, excuse me, if you watch that footage there, so that's the actual UFO there.
It's a two-wheel ship. Yep.
That's the one they studied for 2 years. So that was released by Japan's Air Force. It was sighted by a military helicopter in Japan.
Do you know how many ships like that we filmed over the past 10, within 10 years, from 96 to 2002?
Yeah, thousands.
I'm talking about Sigel and me alone shot pictures of them constantly. We watched one go in the Hudson River and scoop up water and take out. It was taking water away. So people say, well, what do they want? There's a lot of things they could take from this planet.
Is there a reason why they can't post links in the chat room, or is it a fault their end or a fault our end? Because he'd like to post a link but can't.
Who's trying to post it?
If you read the last post on there.
Well,
can you post it to your email, Tom?
Post it to my email, and then I'll try to post it in.
We popped your email up. Tommy's just going to put his email up. You can message us privately on Facebook. Me and Tommy have a Facebook page. If you're unable to get it on YouTube for a reason, a lot of people have problems posting, or if you can't get it, you can message it to me or Tommy, or email it to me or Tommy. Email to Tommy, and we'll put it up for everyone to see. But a lot of people come forward with very good footage and links. It is happening, guys. Excuse me. It is out there. It's been militarized now, so contact is happening there. So if you look down at Tommy's email address, hi Sash. Oh, hello, John.
Greetings. Let me see if you can send it to me. I'll see if I can post it that way.
Yeah. So there's lots of good footage. What was that? Did someone just take a picture? Picture in a picture. What is that? Oh, sorry. Not sure what that's about. Yeah, so anything like that we can post to me and Tommy, but there's been some good footage, guys. You come up with some real good stuff, interesting stuff to follow up, for people to check. Don't take our word for it. Do your own investigation. If you've got something to say, or you'd like to be interviewed on the show, or you'd like to talk to me and Tommy, please come onto the show. Don't be afraid of backlash. We'll interview you. We listen. We understand. Please come and talk to us. And if we can help or set you up with someone closer to you, then, because we're like two sides of the world apart, and we're from different fields. So me and Tommy see things from different angles. So we talk about anything and everything, really. So please come onto the show, Tommy.
I'm just trying to read what's in the chat room, people. Try to pull it up and read it. thetruedefender.com. Okay, check it out. Sasha's putting a couple things up in there. I suggest you read them. All right. Let me get rid of this screen. Get back to where I was. All right. Sorry about that. For me personally, I mean, this world is not a make-believe world, the UFO world. It's not something I wanted to be part of. All right. It's just that I was pulled into it all my life. Sure, I got more enemies than I made friends. I got more people that thought I was crazy than thought I was sane. But again, for me, the only thing that matters is truth. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm not accountable to what they think, feel. But people, if you have an experience, an abductee or any kind of experience like that, please, let's try to get a group of people together that are willing to go out together. Because experiences have these meetings. All the experiences talk about their great experiences together. And how about, let's put the truth out. Like, if you get abducted, you can call it becoming an experiencer. But if somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, I got a trip lined up. Do you want to come with us? We're going to go to Mars. And you say yes, that's not an abduction. But you're sitting in your bed and somebody rips you out of bed and pulls you in a spaceship and flies you somewhere and does something to you. That's called an abduction. It's not called, oh, a great experience. Mind programming is something they can do, and they could do it for a very long time. It started with Truman. All right, when he had people get abducted, I'm talking in the 50s, they were not allowed to remember what happened. But over 25 years later, people started remembering things that were going on. And at that point, I guess the idea was change what they think. Instead of letting them not think of anything, give them a make believe story, which is called an experiencer. Oh, well, we had a good time. Please show us something good that you brought back on. You had a great time. What did you bring back? What did you actually do that was so much fun? Traveling on a ship, going where, to do what, to eat what, to be what? You know, it's amazing how nobody out there wants details. I met somebody, and the first thing I asked him, what did the 12 whites like to eat? The first thing I asked him, and he told me. So people that care what's really going on, you need the facts, people, not the imaginary stories or hear other people's stories. What's real? Why do aliens want to come here? What do they want to eat? What's important for them to eat? Why they won't? Everybody goes, if they wanted to kill us, they don't want to kill us, people. If they did, we would be dead. Look at all the other continents, countries, and people and races that would disappeared. All right, we're here for a reason. Everything going on right now, a reason somewhere is happening. Whether it's our reasoning, aliens' reasoning, which alien race, what their reasoning is. There's a reason for letting us live. All right. But then again, they're not stopping wars because they can take bodies from wars. They can take them from any kind of disasters. So yeah, they still pick up their bodies in large numbers
I
without.
think if you want, sorry, Tommy, to interrupt you. Tommy's hit it on the head there. They're as a human race, personally. So this is my personal view. I think the human race is very selfish. I think they're a horrendous race of people. They are capable of good and some beautiful things and things like that. But now, in this day and age, you have poverty, you have all kinds of evil things going on, plus natural disasters and things like that. We don't look after our people the way we should. Now, these beings are protecting themselves, they're protecting their species. If they can't reproduce themselves like humans do, they are just using us purely. There's something in the water that they once told me there's something in the water that they like here. What that is, I don't know. But so apart from them liking our water, it won't be for much longer because there's too much plastic in it. They take in human beings for reproductive purposes, obviously because they can't do it, or their race has evolved as far as it can, from what I understand. That's me just surmising that. They haven't told me that. They haven't given me no reason or explained to me what they've done. They've just created more human beings from different people's cells and mixed us with them. It has the only reason purpose I could think of is because they can't either repopulate or reproduce, and that's what they need us for, or we have a better outer shell bodies than what they do. So they're not here, like Tommy said, they're not stopping wars, they're not healing the sick, they're not stopping global warming. So what are they here for? They're I'm not saying that they're all evil or nasty, but you must look at it and first off in a security way. So it's like Russia invaded Ukraine. It was all over the news, all over the world. These things are invading our planet, not just one country. They're taking not just me and people, other people. They're taking people from all over the planet. That is a huge security issue. They're not just taking normal everyday people like me. They've taken prime ministers from other countries. They've taken pop stars, they've taken military people, they've taken doctors, they've taken indigenous people from all around the world. This is a security threat to mankind. Surely, foremost and up front, that should be looked at. You news on the Ukrainian war, people are all over it, on both sides. So and that's a threat to each other. Yes, it could possibly endanger the world if they to take things further or draw Europe into another war. But the world, this is a global issue, not a localized issue, a global issue of security. When human beings are taken by another species, this should be looked at as a security number one priority issue, and it is not. Why, Tommy?
Well, I was trying to find a video. I might be able to get the pictures up by next week, maybe. I met a guy in a UFO conference, and he was working in Mexico. They're mining now, mining hundreds and hundreds of statues carved, right? Not one, not two, but hundreds and hundreds. Because now, like the Ancient Aliens and all these other shows show, oh, they found this artifact. This place has been finding giant statues up to 6 feet tall, little pipes made in the shape of an alien, and things like that. A friend of mine bought maybe about 20 or 30 of them. Uh, could actually start their own museum, but they have been doing this for 2 years now. So it was an area that aliens have populated the ground, or I mean, that ground that they're doing all this renovation. So, people, when we hear something, when we think something, none of our history is close to the truth. It's missing the important facts. Whether the aliens decided to keep that hidden from us, realize they didn't teach the Egyptians anything important ever. The Mayans weren't given anything important ever. So when we say let's learn about the pyramids, why? Is it going to help us understand how to live life? We have to respect each other. We can't do that. And we expect to move forward. Let's go to Mars and populate Mars with people that do what? What do they care about? If you don't have morals, what good is it? The morals of the world has deteriorated. I mean, killing children, allowing children to die, that person's going to get the worst karma. See, people don't even want to deal with that. He's going to die and face what he did one sooner or later. But to allow
I
that,
can't understand why they want. I know in millions of years' time, or billions of years' time, we're going to be sucked up by the sun. I think mankind's going to be wiped off the face of the earth long before then. Why move to another planet to kill each other? Why move to a dead planet that doesn't have a lot of resources, stuff we can't harvest or food or fend for ourselves on, when we can't protect this planet? You just want to take humankind to another planet. Sorry.
Sasha, you put up true history is fascinating. But where do you find true history? The native history is all lies. I mean, all the stories of anything you want to hear are lies. I mean, I'm watching The Last Kingdom, and it's a series. It was on TV for I think 3 years, but it shows you how they were fighting then. Women were always slaves. We weren't in any kind of really balanced state of peace, love, and compassion ever. All right, to think that somehow we're going to just step into that, like all these New Age people talk about, the UFO people talk about, the good aliens coming here to help us. What? Again, people, show the world what we're going to do to make it better. Show the world what aliens have done.
Can
You know what,
people?
let me just say this. I met a native person many years ago when I was dancing around the United States. They had this purifying system that could purify a lake in a week. I don't know whatever happened to him. He might have been killed. I don't know what went down with that. But it was a system. They hooked it up to a lake, and it could actually purify the whole lake within a week. So I was friends with the person that was doing the same thing with the Hudson River. The Hudson River was toxic, and he created a back system which pulled the water back out, filtered it out, and put the water back in, but it filtered out all the chemicals. Now, what they did with those chemicals was ship them all over the United States. See, we got a problem, and we think by sticking it somewhere else, it's okay. By dumping it in the ocean, it's okay. People need to wake up. Every action we do is accountable to us, to our children, to our reality. And when we don't respect that, like the richest people on the planet don't respect what they want to do to the planet, they think their ideas are important to mankind. All right. And the more I hear, every day I hear more people, Musk is so great, Gates is so great. I said, do you know what they're doing to farming in the United States? Do you know what they're planning on doing to the human race? They're going to put 1,600 ships up in space. All these little things. Oh, that's a good thing? Well, everything that's being done now is taken away. Now, the idea of free energy, we're not using it. To think electric cars will solve our problem. They're not telling you it takes a generator to produce energy to charge the battery for the electric
I'll
car.
stop you there. UK I just put all their electricity prices up. So if you have a smart car or a car you have to charge or plug in at home, it affects your electricity bill. My gas and electricity bill, my direct debit was £76 a month. So that's for gas and electric. Next month's bill or next month's direct debit, because of everything that's gone up in England, is over £150 a month,
Do you,
over doubled.
do you know what it costs to charge a car in the United States for a month? About $70. I mean, that's like enough gas for the whole month as well, right? Never mind, they have to produce electricity to produce the charge to charge that battery.
And the
We're not,
lithium battery it has needs to replace every 5 years. What are they going to do with the old ones?
we're not, we're not doing anything beneficial. We should go back to horses. We don't need to get around the way we think we need to. How many people travel around the world? The rich people do. The average poor person doesn't. I mean, a horse would be fine to take them to the store, take them to the bank, take them wherever they gotta go. Even a bicycle. I mean, electric motors are a little bit better, chargeable ones that charge by the sun or something like that. But we're not moving forward. Tesla's technology was what, 1900. He created a doomsday weapon, which nobody's talking about either. All right. He has not brought anything beneficial to the human race in all his creation. People say he created so much. He was a genius. And I watched a special last night. I had to turn it off. All the geniuses. I said, what's a genius? Somebody that likes to change reality to fit their reality. I don't like the way people eat, so I'm going to make a new way to eat. I don't like what people eat. I'm going to make them a new food to eat, like Mr. Gates. Synthetic meat. We're going to be eating synthetic meat. Is that what you're going to want to eat? Are you going to eat it? Well, I mean, when they first started using ostrich as meat and made it legal in a lot of like McDonald's and things like that, do you know what you're eating? An ostrich. All right, that's a bird. So when they go to synthetic meat, it's genetically coded meat. So I'm not going to say the benefits might not be better in some ways, but I'm sure it's not better in any aspect because it's a dead energy that you're consuming. And the Fit for Life book was one of the first books in the United States coming out about health and how you eat. And what he said, the closer it is to life, the better it is in your body, period. You cook it, you boil it, you steam it, whatever you're doing, you're taking all the vitamins out of it. That was fine until they started doing chemtrails. When they started spraying the planet, destroying the earth, destroying the bacteria that lived in the dirt. I mean, we don't do things beneficial. And here's the worst thing, people. I'll give it back to you, Tina. But you know the name Al Gore. He became a multimillionaire paid by one person to produce the word global warming. All right, seriously, they explain things that are getting changing the weather. They never explain what is really causing
So
it.
that's another question, Tommy. So people say about global warming, England, the UK used to be a tropical island. The Earth used to be a lot hotter millions of years ago. It's like people need to think of the Earth like a washing machine cycle. Every 10,000 years or so, which is overdue, the polar caps melt. And for the polar caps melt to slingshot round, global warming needs to happen. So, on the biological scale for the Earth, this happens naturally every 10,000 years. Yes, I expect that human beings aren't helping the situation, but we're obviously staving it off because before, if it's overdue, it needs to happen on a regular event. We're obviously doing something to prolong that period of that. And something else I just want to pick up. John said about the power companies have to upgrade to handle the loads and to update things. It's not that cost, unfortunately, John. We've had a rise after rise after rise, but here in the UK, they've lifted caps so they can charge you what they like. So I think they're charging us like 1,000% more. So there you go. And another thing I just want to go back on something that Tommy mentioned was experiences and good aliens. Can somebody tell me what a good alien is, please, and what they think a bad alien is? Is a good alien that someone comes and takes you and asks you out for dinner, like Tommy says, and takes you somewhere nice? And what makes aliens bad? Is it the fact that they take people, hurt people, covertly take people? Do they come into our atmosphere and poison our atmosphere with their ships and bring bacteria in? What is it? So people, if there's good, what is the other side of the coin? So people are saying it's good. You've got to have two sides of every story. Where's the other side? Sorry, Tommy.
That's really important, Tina, because I stopped going to conferences. I mean, they hate me because I challenge them on their limited knowledge of what they're talking about. But here's the thing, people. Like Tina said, a bad side. If you don't get abducted, if you don't get shot, you don't get raped, you don't get any of those things, you don't know what it really means to have it happen. I mean, if you're ripped out of your bed and they stick these tubes in you and you're on a ship, you realize something different. If that doesn't happen and you're programmed to say, well, oh, we just took you for a ride and you're back home, you don't know what's good. And they never proved one piece of evidence of anything positive that an alien race ever did in 30,000 years. I mean, yeah, they left artifacts here and they did a lot of things like that. They didn't give us, well, they didn't give everybody technology. We took it from the Greys, all right? I'm not going to go into that because the UFO world doesn't talk about that either. But I was friends with somebody from MJ12 a long time ago. He's dead, so I could talk whatever I want. But again, what he said and what they were involved with, I was supposed to, my Sergeant 18 and I were supposed to get millions of dollars. And when they met with us, Men in Black, they decided to, I didn't stay the night. They stayed overnight in a hotel, but I had to go to work. I don't know what they gave him or what actually went down. But for me, I was sitting next to a guy, had a steel eye, all right? He says they're watching and listening to everything we say. And then he asked me about spiritualism because he says he only deals with aliens. They don't know any aspect of what spiritual means. So even the highest people inside the government have very little knowledge of everything. They got their space, and like everybody has a space they're allowed to stay in. They're not allowed to go in
I've got a
somebody else's
question
space.
on that, Tommy.
Go ahead.
It's two things of one stone, really. I spoke to, I think he's an ex-CIA operative, and his speciality or field was observation of orbs, which they think if I understand what the man's saying, the gentleman in question I'm actually seeing later in this year, his name is Richard Doherty. He's been talking at a conference. Now, I spoke to him before about the subject of about confab, about orbs. Now, orbs they think now are precursor to abduction. They're like markers to abduction or precursors to abductions. Sorry if you heard anything, that was my partner. So they're out there. The CIA obviously knows about them and has been watching them and their assessment of orbs. Now, all these people of light and all, I'm not going to say good doers of the UFO world because that's tarring people with the wrong brush, but people that have had good experiences and they see orbs of light, but they don't know what these orbs actually are that they're seeing. Are they seeing the precursor to abduction? That's one thing I want to ask.
Let me before you go, let me stop you there. Sergeant 18 and I were lecturing from 1996 to 2002. We were in New York City in 1997. We went public with orbs. We said we can film them wherever we go, anytime. And we did. We went around the United States during our conference. We'd take people out at night, during the day. During the conference, I would film it. And we'd have orbs. What I will tell you, there's different orbs. There's different things that travel in them. All right. But they do come to energy. Heat, light, love, sex, all those energies draw orbs to it. So if you've got a camera set up, whatever you're doing, even if you're making love or whatever, you're going to film orbs around you. They come to energy. All right. They're energy orbs of light right now. I'm not saying we have a picture of an alien head inside one as well. But he had it copyrighted. He went and sent it out and had the name Orbs copyrighted. I don't know if he ever did anything with that, but he was the first person ever to do that. And we were the first people going around the United States to all the UFO conferences. We lectured for global sciences for many years, and we taught people how to film orbs. And there's a real simple trick to get a lot more orbs than anything you film, and that's using a secondary flash. I'm not going to go into that, but they can be multiple things, which they are. I mean, I filmed an alien running, I should say a ship, running up a small ship, cruising, and there was 3 orbs chasing it. All right? I filmed the whole thing. But, are they good? Are they bad? Who are they? What are they? They're different things. It's like saying, what is the human race? Well, we've got multiple races, but are we all the same? But orbs are so different. I mean, it could be a ship. All right? And size doesn't matter to an orb. an orb can change the size. I mean, if it's this big, the ship I filmed was about, let me see if I get my fingers up there, well, about 7 inches long. All right, we're in the middle of the woods, and it came right out of the river. It came right next to me, and there was this creature running up the river. It was invisible, but we heard stamp, 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 and these orbs were coming after, chasing it down the river and stuff like that. We saw incredible things. That's why we're filming orbs, but we saw, and we heard, felt, and got the footprint of an invisible dragon. Seriously.
I'm just going to answer a question in the chat room. So, John, have I seen an orb? Well, the reason I contacted Mr. Doherty was it happened years ago. I think I was married to my second husband at the time, and I lived at the other side of Southampton. And I went out to like a conservatory area with the washing machine we had in the kitchen, and just outside we had like an outdoor freezer. And I thought, well, I'll go out, peg the washing out, and I'll nip out the freezer and get something out for dinner to cook that night. So I just finished, I was just finished pegging the washing out. I didn't go into the room. There's like 2 back doors. I went to go in the first one to get something out, and I don't know what it is. Something just made me turn around literally. So I just put the washing basket down. I looked up to where I just finished pegging the washing out. So I stood like this. The wall was behind me. My neighbour's fence was in front of me. To the right was a garden path and a washing line that went straight up the garden path, about 30, 40 feet that way. So as I looked, I saw this thing. I want to say it looked like an invisible balloon, but it wasn't. It was more like an invisible bee. So it had like bee, but it had like invisible squares on it. But I could see it like a heat. It was giving off like a heat signature, and it was like the motion was like a bee. And it came over the fence. I just stopped. I've never seen anything like it before. Never seen it since. It was a one-time thing. And literally this thing come over, went over my neighbour's fence, underneath the washing, floated up by my garage, come around and stopped. And as I was just stood there less than 20, 30 feet away from it, and I'm looking at this thing, and it all of a sudden it zoomed right over to me because it noticed that I'd spotted it. And as it came over, I wouldn't put my hands up like that because I thought it was going to hit me. And it hit my arm there. It caught my arm. So it was a solid object. And it like, I don't know if it gave me a shock, zapped me, or what the hell it did. But it knocked me back against the wall and it knocked me clear on the floor. I couldn't tell you if I was unconscious because I don't remember what happened. I'm not sure how long I was on the floor, if it was a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. I don't know. I could not tell you what happened. And when I'd come round or went to stand up, I was shaking, didn't know what had happened, how long I've been on the floor. And I got up, and this thing was nowhere to be seen, and I didn't get anything else to. I left the basket on the floor, went in and shut the door. I didn't even think if it was in the house, and that was it. So it's the only one time I've seen it. He said he'd never heard of an orb hurting anybody, but they've recorded orbs been sent to people's houses, and they've seen orbs travel through people's walls. You see people take pictures, and they see like these balls of light in their garden, not the flashes you get, they're not the lens flashes, or actually on about these orbs. Or you could see like twinkling in the middle or corner of your rooms, and they come in. It's like an orb that catches your light. Sometimes you can catch it on camera. It's a physical manifestation, and that's what an orb is. But this thing, I'd never seen anything like it. It moved like a huge football, but like a bee. But I want to say it's invisible looking because you could kind of see through or around it, if you know what I mean. Kind of, yeah. But it didn't connect with me or anything like that. I think it was shocked. I think it was minding its own business, floating about, and it was shocked that I'd seen this all. But so that's what I saw. And as I put my hand up, I come up, and it caught me here. And as it caught me here, I put my hands up like that, caught me, and it pushed me back against the wall, and I was on the floor. That was it. It threw me back against the wall. I'm not sure if it was a shock, touched me, what, or it wanted to know my intentions. I don't know. And that was back in the 2000s, early 2000s. So it was after 2001, so 2002, about that period of time. So that happened to me, and I contacted Richard Doherty to find out if he'd heard of that, and he said no. but they do know that orbs are precursor to abduction. But whether this was it wasn't a ball of light. It was like a huge ball about this big and like a football size, transparent. Wasn't It only looked like it was emitting heat, whether that was an exhaust or what. But they seem to think it's a precursor to abduction, like a drone thing they send out. So, but it was in my back garden, and that was it. I have seen like bits of like light shoot through the living room sometimes, or you see things at the corner of your eye, but. I've never seen a light like an orb sit there and come towards me. That thing physically stopped in midair, floating around my garden, and shot towards me. So yeah, that's if that's what you want to call an orb, that's an orb. So I have seen one, and Tommy said he's going to show you a picture next time. If you have any more questions, please ask. There's been loads of documented cases where people said that they can bring forth orbs or lights that can hover in the room, but according to the CIA, orbs are precursor, what they think is a precursor to abduction. Tommy.
Well, the Army knows nothing about abductions, so they can't even say that with any real cloud of any kind of knowledge about it.
I do have another question to follow on from that.
Wait. I met multiple abductees in my lifetime. I worked with them. I was doing past life regressions. I was doing psychic implant removals. All right. People that have missing time usually get abducted. All right. Government doesn't care. They had a special on. They had a government agent there saying, well, these are mostly mind programs. And they admitted that. They came out and said, we program them to believe that aliens are real. And I mean, they will contradict the truth with a lie. I mean, even if you know the truth, they'll still stick some stupid lie over it, which is totally ridiculous. I put this link in front of a lot of the big name people out there right now. And I know they're afraid to tune in, or they have to listen to their stupid stories that they believe in, rather than trying to get to the truth, which we all should be trying to do. We shouldn't be hiding from it. We shouldn't be putting false information out there or stories. Stories don't help anybody. They make money. I'm not here to make money. Tina's not here to make money. But the people that lecture in the UFO conferences are there to make money. How much do you think they get paid? The average pay is anywhere from $10,000 up to $25,000 for 2 hours. Do they deserve it? I mean, the president should make that money, but not freaking Joe Schmo talking about a good alien coming down and saying hi to him. But people, we're here for the truth. Now, anybody that knows, please tell them to get in touch with us. Even if you don't want your name, I mean, I have lots of people in Hawaii. They don't want their names anywhere. I said, look, we're not going to come after you. The government's not going to come after you because you said you were abducted. They don't care. All right. Now, I mean, when they said the Navy wants to know about all UFO information, what happened to that? That lasted maybe a couple months. Well, call the Navy and tell them to report your thing.
That was another question of mine. All these UFO groups, and now you have all these sites around the world. You have a listening post, the military, the police, local UFO groups, ATIP and people like that as well. What are they doing with all this correlated information? All these millions upon millions of people in different countries that have made abduction reports, that do have photographs, that do have evidence. They for the last 100 years, 200 years, all the government and these research groups have done is collect evidence and collect reports. What are they doing with the paperwork that they are surmounting and making? Are they cross-referencing? Are they coming up with a bigger network? Where is all those millions and millions of pages and billions of pages of this evidence, written testimony over the years? What are they doing with it? What is correlating and surmounting to what? Somebody please tell me what this information is being used for. Because you're telling people and you're telling the government it's going in one ear and out the other, and they're not doing anything that we can physically see about this. Tommy.
I'm not here to change the world. I don't think Tina is either. But, it would be nice if people wanted to hear the truth, wanted to try to understand it a little better. Ancient aliens been on for how many years? And they're still talking, how did the pyramids get made? Really? I mean, they talk about things that have no real importance right now. So they found a piece of artifact, and an out-of-place artifact, meaning a metal clock from ancient history. So, obviously it was made, but was it put there? Now, Time travel, which we can do, which aliens could do a lot longer than we could, can put things back in time or forward in time wherever they want. So that means they could rearrange history to make us believe whatever they wanted to. I mean, they did it to the Mayans, they did it to a lot of the tribal people. But here's the thing, look at what's said, look what was promised. All the prophecies, the Mayan calendar, didn't come true. I mean, when we go back to Nostradamus, was he working with aliens? Of course not. But he was working with black magic and all those kind of magics, Enochian magic. And basically, it was powerful in those days. But all that was taken away. But, going back further, back to Atlantis, which I do talk about a lot, was the only time we did have all those abilities. And they were taken away for a reason. If we abuse something to the max, it's usually taken away in time. Now, we're abusing animals at every level. We're going to start losing more and more species on a yearly basis than we have been. Once the whales and dolphins die, I promise you, the world will come to a really bad ending. All right? They create vibration in the ocean. All right? Everything has a reason. God's not stupid. God's not ignorant. But man is. So everything that's positive, our bodies are perfect machines. They could heal, cure, anything comes into it, providing we don't bring 10 million more things into it. It's like you got an army. You can go out and fight whatever. You got 100 people in your army. You can go out and fight 100 people, but you're not going to go out and fight 10 million people. So when we bring all these toxics into our body, our lymphocytes, our immune system can't fight it. I don't want to go any further. I'll lose my show. Sorry, I have to cut it off there. I was going to go the wrong direction. But
no, don't go down that road, Tommy.
The truth's out there. Find it. Look for it. Don't stop. Go into government sites. They put it up there. They might use other words you might not know, but pull it up. My friend shows me the documents that the government put out on everything. Read it. Look at it. Look at research. Look how many people tested, and look at those things for real. When not President Kennedy Jr. came to Hawaii, I don't even want to repeat what he said, but he was talking against the virus. When Pfizer left, when the vice president of Pfizer left Pfizer, what did he say, people? It's online. Pull up ex-president of Pfizer. What did he say? Read it. It'll blow your mind. Whether he was mad, whatever the reason, but read what he said.
He's going to keep our show, Tommy.
No, I'm not going to say what he said. They let him go find it themselves. But the truth's out. They can block us from saying it, but they can't block other people from finding it. Now, I want to tell you this. Tina, I had a link. My friend gave it to me. It's an artificial intelligence link. Basically what it does, there's a girl sitting there, like your picture right there, your head in the middle of the picture, and there's a word on one side and a word on the other side. And it says, pick a word. Whatever you look at, the computer says whatever you're looking at. I did it 100 times. It was accurate every single time. So in other words, the computer, your cell phone, is actually using artificial intelligence, analyzing what you're saying and doing. I sent the link to everybody. It was taken off yesterday. So I can't pull it up now, but it was mind-boggling because it was a red word sentence on one side and red on the other, a green one. And if you pick one, it's actually detecting the movement. I'm thinking, see, my friend says, it's mind reading. I said, no, it's reading the detection of your eye. I mean, they had the technology for a while, but when they start putting it in your cell phones to determine what you're doing, thinking, and saying, it's going to be a little more scarier. And that word is artificial intelligence. And even Musk said you got to worry about it. All right. Considering he's working high level with it, he's telling us people need to be worried about it. All right. Where did it all come from? Why? And all that. Find the truth. Look it up. Alien people, UFO world, not going to talk about anything like that. Well, the Egyptian pyramids were built for this and maybe that. And your friend you're going to go see. Well, I think. Richard Dolan, I think. You think what? Do you think the truth? Tell us the truth. Don't tell us what you think. I think a lot of things, but I know what I know, and it's different than what I think. So, people, Tina's going to take out a Geiger counter and show you if she's radioactive today.
Let me go and get it. It's in my kitchen. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. We do this thing with a Geiger counter. This is not a trick, people. This is real. Nobody out there in the UFO world, scientific world, believe that we're doing this for real. All right. We both bought a Geiger counter, same one, and we started using it and showing her being radioactive. Her dog died of radioactive poisoning in the bones. I don't know if her dog was actually abducted with her, and she doesn't know either. But she's radioactive. And sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. It's an impossibility. Radiation doesn't go up and down. Then we had a speaker come on last week who said, "You can't read radiation." I said, "Oh, really, huh? How come she's the only person on the planet that it goes off on radiation?" I said, "I go out in a radiation field that goes off." So, Tina, you got it?
So, guys, me and Tommy have the exact one. There's a back. This is my second one. My last one broke just before Christmas. I'm just going to turn it on. Now, it measures electrical magnetic radiation and EM field. Oh, it's going off already. Normally, my EM field, so at the top, you'll see there's volts per meter. The bottom one there is micro Teslas, which you can see there. Now, when I hold it towards my TV, it shouldn't go off because I have a, there you go. I have a smart screen, smart screen computer, and it shouldn't and doesn't give off any magnetic radiation or electricity field.
Mine's at 240 right now on the top.
Well, mine's at 3. Normally, mine is at 0. So it's giving off electrical magnet, and it doesn't normally do that, and there's nothing here. So Tommy's, as you can see, is 77, 70.
It depends which. It depends.
95.
But it determines which way I have my Geiger counter. If I reverse it, it goes up a lot higher.
So
turn the Geiger counter around and face it towards you and look at
it. Now I'm going to put this closer to me. So at the bottom, there's nothing going off. No micro Teslas going off. So Tommy's going to do the same thing. Put it towards his head. I'll take my glasses off just in case. So where are we there?
We'll see a big zero.
Nothing, Tommy.
What?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Hold on.
Mine's the top scale. Hers is the bottom scale, but it's not going off right now at all?
Nothing at all. Not one bit. Nothing.
Well, that's a good thing. But
that's been freaking. Normally, this thing does not stop beeping. Nothing. Wow.
As I told you, the aliens are watching you. Okay, Tina. Now, I don't hope this doesn't go against any of the things, but since you had radiation poisoning, how does it affect the virus?
Well, since I was fine until I had my 3rd jab, but all my bones hurt. My bones physically hurt when I had, when I had the COVID. In my back hurt something terrible, and all my bones and joints, it felt like someone had even my teeth and my jaw, my head, everything. All my bones physically hurt. They still hurt now, but not as bad as aching. Like they really ache now, but they physically hurt before. But yes, it does look like I'm safe today. So for some reason, I'm not giving off any electrical magnetic field, and I'm not giving off not one micro Teslas. So, oh, hold on, saying that. There you go. Sorry, Tommy. Do you see the bottom one there? 2, 4. See it?
Okay.
So it's actually giving off micro Teslas.
Well, like I said, let's see. Imagine it stayed away now. Imagine it didn't come back.
That'd be good.
It would be good for your health.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good for promoting you being radioactive, which is
oh, it's 14 then. I'd rather be safe and sound than anything else.
Well, that would, yeah. I like I said, but I did say to you, I really feel your friends are protecting you.
Well, I have started eating iodized salt. So it has salt with iodine in it to stop you absorbing radiation, and I've actually been having that.
Tina, Watch what you say about anything. You can't say healthy things that heal things or
Oh
purify
yeah, no,
things.
no, no, no. But no, that is a food of my choice. So I don't normally
Okay,
have salt in my food.
I'll talk to you offline because there's a lot of things that
Okay.
you.
Well,
But I'm not gonna say it.
I don't normally have salt with my food. It's a personal choice. So I looked up the other day, and I have iodized salt now. Something I didn't have in my diet before, and I looked up for me 4 things that were going on for me, and the recommendation was to stop the human body absorbing radiation. Have iodized salt. So that's something I've been. I bought 2 packets off the internet, and I've been having a pinch of salt with all my food. So that's what I have. That, yes, yeah, it is like an
Um,
iodine
I'm I'm gonna
salt.
go back in time. Years ago, I was gonna do a UFO conference with a couple people.
Yeah.
Even one of the most famous UFO people gave us money to create it, and we started working on getting all the speakers and everything together to do this conference. But I found out somebody wanted to create a conference, and I'm not going to make this up, people, that they're going to do a workshop for experiences to meet the flathead aliens at this conference that I was doing. I knew all the people involved, I knew these people, and I said, I will not let that happen at the conference.
So is it the flat-headed aliens? Is that the ones? Because
I have no clue, Tina. Don't
I,
ask.
I got freaked
I
out.
don't
They
know.
had an advert on television about a mint, and there's a gentleman talking behind a chair, like a horror scene, and you could hear a voice, or you could see a man's body, but you couldn't see the head. And all of a sudden, this thing stood up, and I freaked out. I freaked out. It frightened the living crap out of me. It is like this round-headed mint on this person, and had a white face, and it was talking. That freaked me the hell out. I'm telling you. Yeah, that wasn't a good scenario.
Well, why people think that they could talk to something outrageously looking crazy and think they're going to get something beneficial from it. Well, religion in the beginning were talking to animals. And I guess they realized they didn't get too much help from the animals. So then they started shifting to other things. Then the word deities and then aliens. But along the way, look what happened to mankind. Nothing beneficial. The weapons, I mean, even in gladiator times, all the weapons. Do you know what they did in gladiator times? What kind of creatures and entities they put in the moats where they let these bodies fall into? It was horrible. And the people loved to see it. The same as wrestling today. I mean, I thought wrestling was gone. And then over the past 2 years, it's back on Friday nights. Friday night SmackDown again. Uh, and we're going back to the wrestling days and stuff like that. If you pull up some of the games out there, we don't need them either. And we wonder why children are violent, why they have these ideas, why they do this, why they do that. Well, maybe the drugs they give them, the things they make them play, watch, and do, aren't beneficial, aren't any kind of balancing state to their emotions, never mind stimulating them. We're going nowhere, people. You could believe you pray and make things better, but prayer has never helped any race. No race, all through history. Back to Jesus' time. It didn't help anybody. So when people say, well, I'm going to pray, I said, you can pray all you want. But look at the world. Look what's happening. You think Russia's not bombing people right now? And you're praying to stop it? The Pope comes out and says, I don't think that's right. So tell that to Putin and go ahead. Go knock him out. Like Mr. Musk says, I'm going to have a fight with Putin. Go right ahead. I didn't see a fight with him yet. Hey, Putin, come over. I'm going to beat you up. But these people say things that are totally useless in the real world. Unless mankind, I mean, we have all these other little things that we're still fighting over. Gay rights, sports players being gay and not. All these little things that all every day I'm seeing fights over. A guy fighting because he won all the women. I say, well, you allowed it to happen. You can't complain now. You allowed the segregation, whatever words you want to use. Uh,
Humanity is ruined. This. It's I've all I know my views on that.
But
But with
Tina,
that, Tommy, we're going to go in
oh, wait,
about.
wait, wait, no. In the next couple of years, I say within 5 years, you're going to see a half human and half animal. And are they going to be allowed to compete in competition? We'll see. But there's a lot of
I don't
hope.
think I want to see that. Right.
Well,
So
Tina,
with that in mind, guys, destroy military. Okay. So guys, it's been great to see you this week, and touch wood, I'm over COVID, and I don't ever want to repeat that, and it's still affecting me now. I've been Tina Brad here in Southampton in the UK. If you guys know of a group and would like to give a shout out to your local UFO group, please let me or Tommy know. If you'd like to come on the show and ask a question or be questioned by us or just tell your story, please let Tommy or me know. We can arrange that. If you have an answer from a previous show, please come on and let us know. If you like a question or an answer that we don't know, then we can find someone who can answer it for you.
Tina, where's your book?
Wow, I've been having problems with my end. It's completely my end and my fault. It's been ready to go for at least 3 months, and I just haven't. It won't upload. It keeps saying that there's different margins, and I'm useless with the computer, guys. But it won't upload for some reason, and I've tried different suites and different things, and it's saying none of the writing matches, and having mega issues I never had before. So I'm not quite sure what is going on.
You using Microsoft Word? What
I've got
program are you
Word,
using?
and I've got the new. I'll tell you what it is now. Just click on it as well.
And
I've
it's
got
not.
a new suite, a publishing suite, and it is 1 second. It's just coming up now. Hold on, it's just coming up now. It doesn't even say what it is. I've got an Office install. I've got a book writing app thing. I've got all this stuff on it. It just won't. So I'm going to go back, redo it, and upload it again. But it's saying it's got
Because
margins.
I never had a problem with any of my books that way. I mean, I use 3 different programs, but they all work
So
fine.
I have no idea.
But
Aliens don't really store it. That's right, they don't. They don't. Slippery little buggers are really messing with
well,
me.
good luck
But
with that. You got to get your book out, Tina. I've been telling
yes,
everybody,
yes,
Rev.Hawksblood.
I need to. I want to. I need time. And where I thought I could have done stuff when I was off with COVID, I couldn't. I couldn't even get out of bed. I
No,
couldn't
no,
do
I'm not
nothing.
claiming that. No, that
I was,
you have to
yeah.
deal with.
So don't forget, guys. I work full time as well, and I look after my mum. So I don't get a lot of time. People don't seem to realise that. I get like 2, 4, 6,
So,
8 days a month off, and I spend my mum looking after my mum 4 or
Tina,
5
you
days.
saw what Sasha wrote, right?
Yes, the aliens don't want you to out. They don't, as I said, little buggers. But
Well,
again,
Tina, it's always a pleasure. I'm
thank
glad
you.
you're feeling better. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
the shirts. It's so cool.
Okay.
Our business cards are coming out and everything. So, people, let's get with the let's get some more information out there, a little more facts, a little more details, a little more real things that can help people understand it, know that people are being abducted all over the United States, and every other place on the planet as well. It's not like they go chocolate ice cream or anything like that. No, it's not like that, people. This is real. This is the real world. Face it. Live in dreamland, you're only going to stay in dreamland. It's not going to help you. All right, Tina.
Okay, Tommy, thank you. Bye bye. Oh, just so you guys know, I've got sent some shirts, different shirts. I buy some and I'll get given some stuff now and then when I'm out and I see people. I went to a tattooist in Southampton, the alien tattooist, and they gave me one of their shirts, which I've given to Tommy. I also get sent stickers and given stickers like UFO Club stickers and stickers for stuff. So I'm going to start sending Tommy some of that. I have like cups people give me and some stuff. So guys, if you want to send extra stuff and you'd like me to send it to Tommy, I'm going to try and regularly start sending Tommy a little package each month, even if it's like just some postcards and some notes or anything like that. So if you guys have anything and you know where I am, where I live, or if you'd like to post it to me, let me know. Message me. Loads of guys I see out normally give it to me. So please give it to me and I'll send some stuff on. If you'd like Tommy to have any of that, please message me or email me and I'll get it to Tommy in a while. I send it from the UK. So I'll be glad to do that. So Tommy's recently received some shirts, not only from me, but from the tattoo shop in Southampton in Bitton. Thank you very much and they give me some stickers as well. I have stickers from there. I did a little photo thing for him, and that was on Facebook last 2 years, I think, last year or the year before. So thank you for that, guys. Please take care. I'll see you all again next week, and that's it for me from Tina Bird, ET Girl, from Hive here in the UK in Southampton. Till next week, Tommy. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye,
My
guys.
pleasure always. Bye bye,
Thank you,
Tina.
everyone in the chat room. Bye bye.
All right, people. Tina Bird, a great person. Sorry her book's taken a little bit longer than expected to come out. But we talk about it. I let her do a whole story every once in a while to explain what happened in her life. I don't get into mine too much. I'm not trying to push what I went through, what I deal with, what I have gone through. I mean, I've been through it all. I can't be abducted. The difference between me and Tina. All right. I mean, I met aliens, I met ships. I was next to ships, but they can't put me on it. But outside of that, it's all real. Now, how much you want to believe in that, that's your choice. You don't want to believe it, that's your choice as well. You want to believe the government's going to help us in any way, okay. You want to believe the good aliens are helping the experiences do something good, really, prove it. Now, I send this link to everybody I can, including those UFO speakers that think they have all this great information and they're releasing information. You know, they're talking about government programs. Now, and this is only me, if I was president and you were talking about a secret program, I would have you arrested. Oh, it's constitutional. The government, when they plan war, when they do things, it's so that they can do it without being told, telling the other country or the army that what they're doing. Even George Washington was a psychic being, believe it or not. He wrote a prophecy of 7 angels that came to him. It's online. He also had a picture drawn in the Juma Mansion, which was his headquarters in New York City, which I went to do Ghostbusting many years ago. All right, it's a picture on the wall, him leaving his body, floating up, going over the other army, seeing where they are and everything, called remote viewing. All right, uh, people, the truth's there. Is it beneficial or not? That's a different story. Is it going to help us? Maybe. But when man twists it, molds it into something different, I mean, robots and things like that aren't going to help us. If you were only person on the planet and you had maybe one family here, a bunch of robots doing everything for you would be great. But when you got 8 billion people and they take all their jobs away to let robots do things, guess what happens? A disaster. We're not doing anything beneficial for the human race. Trump, Gates, Musk, all of them. They're all buying houses, islands. Why would they buy islands? The Bush bought an island that has water on it. I wonder why. All these things that are going down. There's reasons, people. Now, I mentioned the underground cities. One goes, do you really believe they could build? I said, pull up Jesse Ventura. He showed it. He went inside it. I mean, I have friends that went inside it as well. And the New World Order base, people, try to find out information about it. It's bigger than the White House. It's in the Ozarks, and it's over a gateway to the underground city. That's all real, and nobody talks about it. Why is that? When Mr. Bush and father and son was snagged doing a video in the New World Order temple, whatever you want to call it, of ceremony, it was put online for about maybe 2 or 3 days. Did anybody care? Bush has a skull in his hand, there's a girl on a table, all those kind of things, and nobody cared. Do you know what that means? Do you have a clue what the New World Order is and what we're moving into? Do you know any of these things, what's happening, where the aliens fit into any of this? You should. You need to. I don't deal with too many things outside of what Tina went through and what we're trying to deal with this show. I will be doing a show in the next couple of days. I do a spiritual aspect of it, of truth. Now, it's only for people that are ready to face the ultimate truth. Not alien truth, not demon truth, not any of those kind of truths, but the truth of a real God. That's a starting point. Beyond that, can you follow? Do you want to follow? Probably not. because your concept of God is 99.9% lies. I'll challenge you on that any given day. I've been writing a Pope letter every day. The Dalai Lama, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, all those so-called people. Oprah, I gave up on her. I mean, I've been trying to get in touch with 25 years, and she couldn't even reply. I did 5 books. I was trying to throw my book over her fence to get her to read a book. But since she started working with Eckhart Tolle, she comes out and says, and I'm quoting her words, I have no karma. I have no ego. What? Are you kidding me? All right. And she believes it. Really. So, programming happens at every level. Your parents, government, teachers, friends. You could be programmed by anything. Well, I bet you could probably be programmed by your dog. All right. But it's not beneficial. When something else controls your reality or the way you think, it's not beneficial. To think we have free speech, we don't. If I don't watch my P's and Q's here, I'm going to lose the show. I mean, if that happened, I'd have to resort to something different. But I was blocked on linked. And they go at it away. You have to send me a driver's license to get back on? Seriously. I know none of it's a good thing or not a dangerous situation. But I'm not living here in fear of death and any of those other things. The only fear I have is I could live to 125. I think that would be the worst fear you could possibly have in hell. I mean, you're not going to stay here longer. Even though, what's his face? Someday, somewhere in the near future, I might learn how to say his name, but I don't want to. I call him Bosco. If I don't look at it, how do you say it, really? How do you say his name? Does anybody know how to say his name right? I can't even find it now. It's on his box somewhere. But, okay. It's Bezos. Bezos. How would you say that? Bezos? I call him Bozo. It's much easier. All right. He's spending millions of dollars to make a vaccine or antidote or vitamin pill, whatever you want to call it, to live forever. Seriously. Why would you want to live here forever? Because you know nothing about death, know nothing about a higher realm, know nothing about God. Why else would you want to stay here? Bezos, okay, why would you care to do that? Because he's afraid to leave this reality. Most people are. They won't admit it. And then you got, 2.5 billion Christians, and they believe they're going to have to wait for Jesus to come down and pick them up and take them up? Really? That means they're going to be lost souls. My cousin just died. I'm trying to find him and trying to help him cross over. It's hard. I mean, I met lots of my other family that's still, a lot of them already reincarnated. People don't know anything about that. They know nothing about death. So how could they understand life if you don't know what's going to happen when you die? Because when you die, you're more alive than when you're in this physical body. You're not confined by the walls of the car that you drive around in, meaning this body. All right? So it gets thinner and lighter, and you could do a lot more things. Each realm, which science will never get into, and there's reasons why. I always say, watch the movie The Matrix, the new one. It explains it in great detail. But what's really happening with the different realms of reality, dimensions, they're playing in the physical, even though, oh, well, this is the 6th dimension. That's part of the physical reality. It's not merging into the astral plane. I'm not saying they might not do that soon. Well, CERN, CERN, is trying to get into the next realm. They allowed already, and this is fact, people. You could listen to all the stories, and all these other people have no clue. They're releasing entities in this reality. That's called a porthole. You open up a porthole, you open up something coming in through it. Plain and simple. It's not that complicated. But when we do that, who's watching over the gateway? Nobody. The U.S. government cannot close the vortex they opened. I hope you heard that. But for me, truth is all that matters. We've been playing with a lot of things. Hold on. Oh, they upgraded their magnet? Well, listen to this, people. Uh, Sasha. Right now, I'm working with magnets myself. I got serious problems with my nervous system, my wrists, my ankles, my back. I can show you. Everything I wear is loaded with magnets. I'm not going to pull everything out, but they all do have magnets. Just let me show you one thing, if I can find it right now. I took everything off because I wanted to be relaxed for the show. But my belt is lined with magnets. My headband is lined with magnets. My wristbands are lined with magnets. All right. Uh, Japan has been working with magnets for many, many years. They put them in all your clothes, your back braces, your underwear. They put them in socks. They put them in everything. So I decided to try it for myself. Right now, I see benefits. All right. I knew when I was little, the three parts of an atom, proton, neutron, and electron. Well, I'm not going to remember the right words, but gravitational pull, magnetic pull, and there's a third one, which is the three parts of it. And that's, how many years ago, not too many years ago, they found they could levitate a frog with a field. So, as man grows in its ignorance, it grows in what it plays with without the awareness. CERN, do you know, and I don't know, you didn't put it down there, CERN's magnetic field, and this is no lie, is 5 times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field itself. Imagine they could point that at the moon and pull the moon towards us. Native people believe we're going to crash into the moon, certain tribes. So there's a lot of things, people. Are you ready to understand what's really going down? Now, and I'm telling you this, people, tell your friends, tell every UFO person you meet. They have no clue what's going down in the Montauk Project, the Philadelphia Experiment, either. I was friends with Al Bielek. All right. Preston Nichols, he was a space cadet. But I will say Fred Bell, not Art Bell, who worked on a HARP system for the government. He was killed after he did the show with Jesse Ventura. All right, these people, I was friends with them, what they were working with, and what was going down. All right. The HARP system is the worst dangerous weapon on the planet that I know of. I mean, we have incredible weapons. I mean, they were playing with chemical weapons during the Vietnam War, but they weren't using them. You know why? Chemical weapons. Now, this might sound the opposite of the truth. You know what a proton bomb is? Well, you know what a neutron bomb is. There's one difference between both of them. One only takes out the people, the other one takes out the city. So which one are they using? A neutron bomb. No. Proton bomb? Think about it. They want to destroy reality instead of just the people. You want to take over a country, do you kill all the people and blow up the buildings? How about just get rid of the people? When Moses brought his people to the promised land, they killed everybody that was there and moved into it. But if you destroy everything, there would be nothing to move into. So technology and what they do doesn't make sense, and you have to figure out why. All right. Now, Chemical warfare, and I'll tell you, I'm not going to say how, what, or where, but they had guns. I'd call them a ray gun. All right, they could shoot it at a city, paralyze the whole city for 24 hours. Just think you could do that, walk in, do whatever you need to do without killing one person. But that's not the game of war. War means killing people, innocent people. You want a war, take the president of both countries, let them fight it out. Now, like, I'm watching, man, about gladiators, and it's the end kingdom, the last kingdom, sorry. How everybody was always fighting to be the head ruler. All right. Now, many of the kings, stayed in the castle, but many of the leaders did go out and battle. On a native tribe, it was everybody went out to fight. It's not like, well, I'm the king, I'm going to say it, you go kill yourselves. But when you send your people out to get killed and you don't help, to me, that's the most evil thing you could do. You want to kill people? Go out there and be part of it. Don't make other people do your killing. During Vietnam, all my friends were drafted. I was going to join, and then I pulled out. But they were all drafted. Half of them were killed. 2 of them came back crazy. You know, it was a horrible thing. I had a girlfriend that was there. War, what does war do? Kill people. She was on the front line, a nurse, washing the dead bodies. Do you know Vietnam was sending children out there 14 years old, which we were killing and shooting? Well, the people understand life, death, and the laws of this world and the next world, called karma and things like that. Even the Ten Commandments say, thou shalt not kill. All right, there's no justification for it. Moses came off the mountain and killed 300 people. No justification for it. People, if you say you're following a religion, follow it. Follow the truth. Don't follow the lies, and don't follow man's ideas of what it should be. Jesus did not teach a religion. He didn't. Sorry, people. And I will challenge anybody on this planet. He didn't come here to protect your sorry ass. He did not. And he couldn't. He didn't protect his disciples. He didn't protect his followers. Most of them were killed. Mary Magdalene, his wife, had a daughter and had to leave the country. Thomas, one of his prime, I guess one of the closest to him, next to Judas, left and went to India. The rest of them, caught doing anything Jesus taught them, were killed. All right? How do I know I was there? I'm aware of all my lifetimes back to Atlantis. You don't have to believe it, and you don't even have to care. But if you ever decide to look for the truth and start finding it yourself, you need to go back in your past lives and see how far you can go back. Look at the truth. Look at why you are who and what you are today. What did you learn? I learned so much, and it was a very important reason why I came back in this lifetime. And it wasn't to have a family, to have a car, to get a nice job, to become a millionaire, to pretend I'm healing the planet, and any of those things. I'm not going to go into it. But we all have a mission, and it's the same mission. Oh, well, I got a mission to this. No, you don't got a mission to save the world. Nobody's going to save the world. In hell. Sorry to inform you where you are. This is no reflection of heaven. Nothing that goes on here reflects anything in the higher realms of God. Nothing. Killing, murder, rape, drugs, abuse, all that. Now, you want to get sick, do you? How about I tell you the truth? Do you know what abortion means? Do you know what is a battle between legalizing it and making it illegal? You need to find out. The truth is, what happens when a child is killed, aborted? Find out. You need to know. I'm not talking like 3 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, or 3 days. I'm talking 6 months, 5 months, 8 months when they abort a child. What happens to that? What do they do with it? The corporations are making fortunes off of that. It's the most horrible possible thing you could imagine. I think the most important thing on this planet is the children. And what they're doing that way is evil. The most corrupted, evil thing that could possibly happen. Pull up the information. Pull up the details. Look what they're doing. Look at how they're making their money off of that. What do they sell? How do they sell it? Where do they sell it? Find that out. And you realize we got more problems than you could ever imagine, and we're talking about going to Mars. The richest person, oh, I wish I could call him 50 billion names, on this planet, thinks he's intelligent, smart, because he has money. Gates, all of them. Gates wants to take over all the farms in the United States, eliminate cows, thinking cow farts are going to destroy the ozone layer. Dreams, stories which are programmed into their consciousness, helps them never to see the truth. Well, people, I'm going to be doing a show in the next couple of days. I'm going into the spiritual side of life and death. And please tune in. Not charging for the workshops at all. Tell your friends that they want to come on, want to be part of it. Listen, that's fine. Anybody that wants to find my sites, they're always on YouTube. Friend me at Hawksblood. As long as I have YouTube, they're there. I'm going to find out if I can link them on the cloud or something else where people could go see them. I want to find another place where, if I did lose YouTube, where I can put my videos where they can watch them and see them. All right, people. I don't lie. I don't spread stories. I don't push other people's ideas. Ideas are useless. Oh no, they invented a plane. Did we really need a plane? Did we really need a nuclear bomb? Did we need a hydrogen bomb? Did we need any of those things? Really? For what reason? Well, we can do things faster. Why? What's faster mean? Well, when we did things, we farmed all day. But it was something to do all day. What do you got to do if a computer was doing everything for you? What would you do? Nothing. Jacques Cousteau, before he died, he put a special out on the pollution of the world. He showed every country how polluted they are. And this was when he was alive. And he said the future of the world will be this. He showed you a little satellite with a head in it. He said mankind won't need their hands and arms and legs for anything. They'll just think what they want done and be done, and it'll be done. But that's coming from a person that was totally an inventor, creator, knew more about the ocean than any other person walking on this planet. And his son's pretty intelligent as well. When the Gulf freeze happened, his son was out there proving that the oil wasn't disappearing when they said it was. The lies we get fed, people, everything. Trump's another person that puts stories out there, and they all attack the native people. Nobody's helping the native people. You can help the black people, the Chinese people, the Spanish and Cuban, every other race, but you can't help the native people. Oh, what they did, evil, they gave all the high medicine people of a lot of the tribes billions of dollars so that they would be part of a system, not part of their own, part of a program system. With that, people, I'm going to sign off. I hope you had a good day. I hope you got something out of today. I hope your day's whatever you want it to be. It's only 10:30 here in Hawaii. So peace, love, compassion, whatever you need, whatever you want. Hope you get it. But look further, because they're not what you need. Truth is different. All right? Remember that. Truth will not be what you want it to be ever, but it will help you take the next step in your own life. Step forward. All right. Until next time, Tommy Hawksblood here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you got something out of it. I can't type.